For our research and planning stage, we used the Google search engine. It was useful because it enabled us to search thriller genre conventions and to find typical and historical aspects of these genres. We also used IMDb. This website was useful as it showed us the genres of different films, their typical plots and characters, so we could use them in our research. Our college VLE intranet provided us with additional information on specific film opening titles which were provided by our teacher. These helped us in our research on titles, colouring and soundtracks and effects. As well as the films on the VLE, we used YouTube to search films. YouTube was useful for this because it allowed us to view a wide range of filler films and particularly their opening title sequences.
For both our preliminary and final piece, we used a Sony HC9 recording camera. We already had experience with working with the camera for the preliminary task, a continuity filming exercise which involved creating a scene of a person opening a door and then sitting down to exchange dialogue with another. We learnt that with each shot it is necessary to change the levels of exposure, white balance and the focus to suit the location. When we were working on the thriller opening, we made sure that the shots weren't too bright, giving plenty of shadow. The white balance is essential to most shots anyway to ensure the shot keeps a neutral colour, which then, if needed, can be changed in post-production. Focus also needed to be altered in regards to the length and type of the shot. Once we checked that these three things were corrected, we then thought of the camera shots we could use, making the scene much more thrilling. For example, an over-shoulder shot of the character. Within post-production, when looking for appropriate soundtracks for the sequence, we used the website incomputech.com, which has a database of copyright-free soundtracks. We searched by feel or tone and were able to scroll through and find a few interesting tracks which we could integrate well into the sequence. For sound effects of a heartbeat, laughter and so on, there were many free download websites such as freesound.com. Yet again we were able to search into desired sound effects and see the selection. We then added them into the production.
We had a brief training session before we began to use Adobe Premiere on our OTS. In this session, I learned where to place our recorded scenes and the rest of the basics involving editing, such as the audio and visual effects bar, but most importantly, how to place our scenes in an order suitable for creating our final piece. The titles in our piece, essentially, had to visually match the narrative. The best example of this would be the title of our film, Disoriented. We went into the titles bar that were already available on the software. However, we then went onto a separate website and searched on a mood and tone that matched the effect we wanted to convey. We then analysed scenes for negative space where we could place the titles. The soundtrack was also essential for our piece, as it needed to match the disoriented theme within our narrative. My associate found a suitable soundtrack, and then I altered the pitch and speed to distort the strings. This made the track seem darker and disturbing, which was perfect for our opening title sequence.